Now, I did lay her off. You did too.
I did too.
We both decided that taking off the mics that it was time to lay her off because it is warm out here. It is starting to get
time to work on our sunburn.
Yeah, a little bit. And so we're starting off this match 1-0 to Mary Brascia.
1-0.
Just solid deep shots from that side, and as we've talked about before, Devidze, she's on this side that has been a trickier side throughout the tournament. Mary Brascia resides in California, trains a lot with her sister Maggie, and her parents are great coaches to her. Salome resides in Florida. Some fantastic wins she's had under her belt. Great singles player.
An amazing singles player. So that takes us up to 3-0. Mary leading. Great start for her.
So we are in the quarterfinals today. The winner goes into the semifinals, PPA Tour, North Carolina Cup. Beautiful day. I'm not gonna lie, the scenery is very, very nice. We have like a cherry blossom tree behind us. I'm not mad at what we get to look at.
We had such angry weather yesterday.
4-0.
Hold on, we're seeing some misses out of Salome kind of early to Devidze, and I don't think that's going to maintain. I think she usually does reel it in, able to stabilize, and Brascia's going to take advantage of her side and just do what she can to keep plugging along. And that's kind of what Devidze is going to need to do. She's got a little bit more length on her side, but Brascia's court coverage is always phenomenal.
So Salome will now be serving 0-5. Let's see if she can get on the board here. And she did.
And that's again what we're seeing is that kind of like modified drop shot, passing shot that does create a lot of opportunity. And Devidze, she's pretty extreme with her grips a little bit. She even kind of wears something on her wrist because of how much it affects her wrist.
Phenomenal shot by Salome. That ball did not come up. There was not much you could do
low.
with that.
It's now to get into this match, Devidze took out Caitlin Christian 11-6. 11-6. And Caitlin Christian, again, tennis player, has played on the doubles pro tour on the WTA for quite some time, and now we're seeing her more and more in the PPA Tour. Mary Brascia took out a fairly local North Carolina Purina Imperado, 11-3, 11-6.
Mary serving here, where she's still up 5-2. Because the right idea, just a little overshot that, but
it is, and Mary Brascia's got a lot of heavy shots, balls with a lot of spin on it, whereas Devidze's a little flatter, a little more low. That's a kind of a little bit of a wild serve right there. Again, we've talked about it before. It's okay to take risks with your serve. It's actually a good idea throwing up that lob.
We have a little bit of wind still if you look at the trees there. That impacts those things that you typically hit perfectly every time.
It's a big serve. Like I said, it's a heavy, deep serve. There's not a lot of space back here. But you are seeing the referees kind of move out of the way when they're returning and then stepping back into place once the point's getting started. I'm floored. I mean, those two shots, Mary's just like, I've got to just get the ball back and give it another go. Devidze really struck those balls well. Here we go, and that's we're seeing she's again keeping the ball very low, very deep, very strong shots, and one thing we are seeing more and more is kind of an open stance serve. And I think a lot of that, like I personally did change that when with our rule changes with the serve. I actually shifted to a little bit more of an open stance because of us not being able to move the ball anymore when we're serving. It's got to be a straight drop, no hand motion. And that open stance has kind of, I think, helped still create a lot of power off that ball.
Mary's still playing solid, obviously, here. She has taken a pretty big lead here up into 9-2.
9-2.
And those are the shots that we kind of are more used to Devidze striking. So she took a little bit more time on that ball, did not rush it, just made it clean.
2-9.
Not it wasn't very far out, but again now she's getting her stride a little bit more, really getting under the ball.
3-9.
I think that's just the wrong choice right there. I think you had the choice of down the line pass or cross court pass, and she chose cross court, but Brascia was ready for that space.
9-3.
Great ball there
And
by
that's
Salome.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Is
That's
a
the
good
best
word
word
for it.
It's
And like I said,
ridiculously
it's
accurate.
much more baseline to baseline that we're seeing.
3-9.
Picking the moments coming forward rather than just getting to the net right off the return. She's trying to create a little damage. Obviously, it's not a fantastic start for Devidze. And that's just unfortunate. Brascia got there, but when you've got, again, a let cord that kind of comes over, then your timing just gets messed up.
You're already chasing it down, and then
Yeah.
it
3-9.
little change makes a big difference there. Solid.
Those are solid. I mean, Brascia's painting the lines on those balls.
9-3.
Huge serve from Mary Brascia.
I don't even know
The
how.
recovery from
How?
Devidze there was very, very impressive. That serve was big from Brascia. She went for it, and that pass. I mean, Salome just hit an amazing passing shot. Now, mind you, now we are seeing Devidze trying to push to the net a little sooner, which she has been putting together some points there.
9-3.
Our scores remaining at 9-3.
Again, I think that's a fairly big serve, but it's the same outcome. She's hitting that downline passing shot, and I think that's something that Devidze does very, very well, is
3-9.
solid down the line on those. And the same thing there. And it's 4-9. It's a big gap in the score, but you can tell she's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep
We've
going.
seen many people come back
I think that's
quickly too.
Well, that's the hard part, I think, for Brascia, the situation to be in is like you're up and you're like, why can't I get off 9? I just want to close. And there you go. So she's like, I got to get off 9 right there. And I love when Brascia starts to get that little fist pump and that
A little bit fire there.
a little fire, because she's always so bubbly and happy and one of the nicest people out there. And that's, again, couldn't be better. That you see that ball was like to the baseline. It was a phenomenal shot from Devidze, and Brascia answers with, you know what, I'm going to do what you've been doing to me the last few points. And now she's getting a game point here at 10-4. So she got off that ball she needed to. She needed off that 9, and that was a tough one. That was right on that baseline. Again, Devidze, both of them really have to be painting lines.
There it is.
And that's the cross court one, the passing shot that we haven't seen as much. Salome's been doing more of it down the line, so it's a good time to adjust after you've done it 3 or 4 times. Let's switch the angle, give them something different look.
Again, beautiful.
That's beautiful. It's and you can kind of see like maybe that was going out, but it wasn't. Again, what I appreciate, what we've talked about, the importance of all these players needing to get their feet underneath them. Singles match of the day on this court. Mixed doubles is going to be next. And we're coming back in at 6:10. I mean, the court coverage on both sides, and again, there it is. That's what Mary Brascia is feeling good. She's like, I know I need to motivate myself. I've got to get going, and you've got that little come on out of her. I like seeing that energy, and she's going to serve for the game again. I mean,
she does it.
She absolutely she got it. And again, she's painting the lines. She had to. Out in California, and let me tell you, when I visit, I'm like, I need to go to Leonard's. But Devidze, Floridian player as well. Coast to coast, we've got. And that's, again, I think so much of how we deal with things. It's like we think bad things happen right on the court. Really, what it is how do you deal with it? What's your next response after an error or after something like that? And sometimes it's so important. I like how she dealt with that. She's like, well, that was graceful. That was not the best situation, but you can't let those things eat you up. That serve was ridiculous. And
Salome questioning with the referee. Sounds like she's questioning the serve.
The height of it. And I do think the new rule has made it easier for referees to call, but at least from the hand perspective. But it's very, very tricky to call an illegal serve if it's a little high. But I think Mary went a little bit looser on that one. Didn't go so aggressive, maybe probably because of the comment from Devidze. And I think that's what Devidze is going to want, is to bring Mary Brascia in a little bit and try to hit some passing shots, because that is kind of her forte.
Already tied in the very beginning here, just at the 1-1. Anyone's game, obviously.
Again, there's that passing shot again. Devidze went pretty big on that serve, which I think, again, it's the right decision. You really want to take advantage while you can. Make it more difficult for your opponent to come to the net off that return. And I love that Mary did not give up on the ball, because often you'd be surprised what happens just getting the ball back over. Sometimes they make an error. Sometimes
anything can happen, really.
anything can happen. So she's not going to give up on it.
Salome coming out more focused. She's looking stronger in this one, more confident.
I mean, those are like on the line, again, painting the lines to pass Mary Brascia.
Just perfect, honestly, perfect placement.
4-1.
Let's bring her up to 4-1, getting a little bit of a lead here.
So Mary took her time coming in on this. So she made the adjustment. She's like, I've gotten past like 4 times. So she still came to and I'm glad she did, because look where she's at now. And it
looks like she has figured out the key.
She's figured it out.
She's figured it out here.
But I think I think a lot of times people don't realize like how intelligent a lot of these players are. It's an intelligent game. There's a lot of more tactics than people realize. I mean, Mary came in on a great ball. Nice. She kept that low down the line, pulled Devidze to the other side, and Devidze answers still with a clean passing shot cross court.
7-1.
And this is something that I was saying kind of earlier from our last match. Notice how often they're hitting an open stance shots versus a closed stance shot. It's going to assist a lot more in recovery as well. There we go. That's something that Brascia needed. She's trying to pump herself up a little bit. She's got a little fist pump, and she's down 1-8. Okay, game ahead though. So
A lot of game ahead.
1-8.
now that's the first time we've seen Devidze come in for a while. I mean, mostly because she has been serving for so long.
She's also been utilizing the lob twice now to give herself just a little bit more time to get back in position.
I mean, that time Brascia guessed right. She's and Devidze, she's holding that ball, like waiting for Brascia to make a move. You could kind of tell she wanted, but Brascia was like, I'm not moving. If she would have taken one step to go cover that line, that would have been wide open behind her. And she guessed right. She was ready for it. And that's also because both of them are like their passing shots are phenomenal on both ends. That's what we're used to seeing from Mary Brascia as well. I want you to kind of notice if you could see the bounce of the ball. Brascia's
great idea.
There we go. And so it does. It forces Devidze's hand to call a timeout. The 4-8 spread is great.
Takes her up
And that's
to
first
5.
really kind of like miss we've made, but we did have a huge wind gust right there.
Right after she hit that ball that went up.
Now, to me, that's frustrating to see Devidze. She's been so good at court. I feel like she kind of gave up on that point. I think she's more frustrated
she looked like she was
now.
there. She could reach it. She just maybe just ran out a little bit of steam there. Brascia definitely closed the gap there. We're now at 8-6.
And that's basically the main thing that Devidze wanted. She's like, I just need to get that serve again. Let me close this game out. Even 1 point on the board is going to be helpful. Just anything to make that adjustment.
And she did it.
And someone you notice there that Brascia hit a shorter ball. She invited Devidze to come in because she wants that passing shot. She wants to be able to strike that ball. And it almost worked, just kind of a little off on timing.
Again, utilizing that lob gave her time to get back.
She was in defense. Brascia was still able to hit ahead with it, but she was mid-court when she hit it, so it opened up a little bit of space, gave her some time. And
10-6.
I'm frustrated for her. After that game, she played, phenomenal.
When the world sleeps, greatness rises. And while others dream of the next level, we chase it. Challenging every limit, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Because the next level isn't just handed to you. It's earned. Go next level with 6-0 Pickleball.
11.
Oh, wow.
And it's 0-0 now. Phenomenal point. You saw Devidze was reluctant to come forward. That, again, Brascia brought a little shorter of a ball, and she did not come in on that first ball. She kind of hit mid-court. She did decide to come in on the second ball because it was even shorter. But they're both thinking that, which is great. It's, I think, the cat and mouse game of it. And that's what I like about Brascia right there. It's that's a good serve. It is a good serve, and she's got no problem saying that. She's not mad at herself. She's giving credit to her opponent.
2-0.
And that's so basically it's a shorter serve. So what I was thinking, maybe if I'm Devidze, is maybe hitting some shorter serves to get Brascia to come into the net.
I think she is realizing that she's capitalizing once she's up there, so let's see if she sticks with the game plan of that.
Again, Devidze is just putting a lot of pressure on Brascia, keeping the ball again deep, low, and she thinks about it for a second, and
the official ball of the PPA Tour.
I think that's the closest thing to a mishit Devidze's had this game. It just kind of clipped over. Again, Brascia's going to miss that. She's got a phenomenal two-handed high backhand. I think one of the best ones out there. She's able to really get on top of it and just didn't get her feet underneath her. She didn't accelerate to the ball and just got a little lost on it. And that wind is really picking up. There, right there.
There you see the impact of that.
You could hear the gust coming through, and that ball just locked up. And Brascia's getting herself motivated. Take it. I want that ball.
0-5.
Well, there's that miss hit. It's probably because I said something that she had not hit one. Do you think I have that much power?
You jinxed her. So Brascia's on the board now at 1-5. So many net courts.
Now, the thing is, Mary Brascia means that. She's like, I'm sorry. She didn't just put up her hand. She said, I'm sorry.
She is probably going to send her a follow-up email.
She just to let you know, I'm really sorry about that one ball. I mean, and one thing that
Well, we both totally just...
Brascia does really well, she curves that ball, and that's exactly what she was, trying to do there, but it just, curved much further than expected.
5-2.
Just missed that one. I know that's so frustrating.
She's going to give it all her God, and she works hard, she trains hard, she has great focus on, look at that, I think she's like, let's go, it's on. First one, let's take advantage of the side. She got the serve back, and we have a B that is in our booth, and was a little bit scary, but Kim took care of it.
I'm useful that way.
So,
questioning the call
Devidze
here.
did call it out. Brascia said, nope, that was in.
And the call was overturned.
The line judge did overrule. And Devidze did say sorry. It's I don't really think anyone does it purposefully.
No, this ball is coming extremely fast. I know, especially for people at home, it looks slower than it is. And the level of play here is just extreme is the best word I can use. It really goes to show how much they have to do to get to the finals.
Yep.
The people
often in these matches is, can you move past those mistakes, or are you going to kind of let that create some momentum?
So frustrating for Brascia. She had great momentum there.
6-4.
Salome will have the ball coming back. We're at 6-4. Still anyone's game here in game 3.
No. And so this is the most errors we've seen from Devidze in the minute, and part of it is you're wondering does that line call take any influence on that?
I think it would have to, unless you're just...
I know, I mean, I can't get out of my head sometimes, especially if there's like an overrule.
The overrule, because of just the implication of that. So gotta... And Salome is questioning the legality.
This is the second time she's questioned it, but now she's frustrated with it.
Of the serve.
And we do, I'm not saying that Brascia illegal, because we don't have a replay here, but the tendency is that on the right side for a right-handed player that does tend to, you see it more. But Brascia came out with a big serve. Either way, she's like, the last time there was an issue with that, she kind of hit a softer serve.
Right.
This time she's like, nope, I'm sticking with what my shots are. So it's the biggest, most frustration we've seen from Devidze. Confident behind Brascia right there. I've got it. So positive always on the court.
Just super calm and collected there. It's hard when someone's debating the legality of something to just kind of stand there and watch that unfold.
It is. And then it's just a wild shot from Devidze coming off that serve. I'm definitely going to take a closer look from this side on this one. That, at least to me, didn't look anywhere near illegal.
She has taken the lead at 7-6. I know she must be super happy to be in this position now, leading.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she challenged the call, and the ref is agreeing with the call. So just to be clear with the referees, they're not making calls. They're there to solidify and question, basically. Whereas it used to be back in the day that they would make all of our calls.
And I think people tend to think that when someone asks the referee, did you see it in or out, that it is a negative thing, but it's actually just the reassurance of a third eye that wasn't moving. I don't think it's negative. I think it's just ensuring the right call was made.
Correct. I don't think people realize how fast it's going. When your head is moving like side to side, anytime you're moving, you're losing range on sight. So a little bit of wild serve. I mean, but Brascia's been getting a lot of pressure with her serve, so again, it's worth the risk a little bit to miss it every so often. Hello, she
is still all
smiling
smiles.
as she's saying, "Come on," and she's making sure she's having fun out there. It's at the end of the day, we're playing pickleball, right?
Absolutely.
That was probably the most controlled I've seen Brascia. Took so much time on that ball. She's like, I could put this here, I could put it here, or I could put it here.
Yep.
I'm just going to put it right there.
Again, she just made it look just simple, textbook.
So easy.
8-6.
To be in your 20s again.
Oh, jeez. So much I'd do differently.
Very close. Good point. And so let me just point that out. Do you know, how old is Devidze? We talked about this. I mean, I may walk like I'm 60, but I can still play. And Brascia's up 9-6 after that timeout. And she's kind of throwing in a little bit more slice on the ball, which is important, I think, with Brascia. She's got, with that heavy topspin, that slice can make it, it's a trickier ball to hit. You got to get more under it. You got to open your paddle face. There's a short return, trying to pull her in and hit that passing shot. So Devidze hit a shorter ball as well, making it a little bit more difficult for Brascia to hit that passing shot.
7-9.
I like these close ones.
And that's a fantastic play by Brascia, stopping the train essentially before she tied up the game. I think she's regretting coming in on that ball, or at least where she hit it. It almost went right to her paddle. It seems like Devidze's got an issue with her hand. She's just kind of wiping something off on her hand. And again, it's a tight game right here, 8-9.
Excellent ball.
That's again, it's a little shorter serve, kind of inviting, saying, hey, why don't you come to the net so I can pass you? And both of them are doing it. Both of them are trying to kind of pull them in, because both of their passing shots are phenomenal. And that ties up the game at 9-9. So we're dead even again. Are you stressed out?
I'm a little stressed out.
Now, when Brascia came in on that one, she really loaded her legs under that ball before she hit it. And I think that was a huge difference in the response from Salome.
No, come on!
And she goes up to 10.
It's the first match point that we've got. It's not a common miss that we've seen from Devidze. And Brascia just let that go. I thought it was going out too, honestly, and that went about 4 feet in. Like I would have let it go myself. I think, but again, she's smiling about it. She's like, well, that happened. She has a little cushion at least. She got out of that 9-9, and so she's not feeling as stressed.
Salome gets a second shot here at tying it back up.
And there's the Brascia that we know when she's confident and moving. She's striking that ball, moving in the right. She just reads the ball very, very well. And she's got another match point on her. Get you right spot. But I think what we're seeing a lot is Devidze's making, again, they're both making these adjustments to these shorter balls. They're trying to change up the approach shot and that passing shot. And that takes us to 10-10. It's, again, same spot she aimed at before when she had it, but this time she made it.
We have quite the crowd now. I know they're all on the edge of their seats as well with this
gathering in. We have full house now.
third game. And she's able to do it again.
And there it is again. So it's Devidze saved 2 match points, giving her now a match point against Brascia.
11-10.
That hurt me a little bit. I literally gasped. I can't believe I just did that.